Over the years, my desk setup has gone through a lot of changes. At one point in time, it looked like this, and now this. And it's for sure going to change again. I just don't know when. I've learned quite a lot due to all these iterations, specifically cable management. We'll get to that topic though at the end of the video. Right now, we're gonna go through everything that I have in my two desk setups, starting with my gaming setup. I have an IKEA Miltorp tabletop that is 49 by 29 inches. It lays on an Alex drawer to the right and a couple of Olof adjustable legs to the right. I know everyone has these drawers, but I've never owned one and I wanted to see what the fuzz was all about. They're great. I get it now. They're the perfect companion for a desk setup. I will be swapping them for something else, but for now they will stay in place. What's resting on top of the tabletop is a desk pad from Trees. On top of that is an acrylic wrist rest from Attack Shark. And right above it is a Newfie Halo 75 B2 with Raspberry switches and custom keycaps. By the way, the best pre-built keyboard that I've ever tried. Well, in my opinion, it is creamy and thocky. I use all my keyboards wired, which is why I'm using a coiled USB-C cable from Gumjo. The mouse is a Logitech G305 Lightspeed, one of the best I've ever had. If you're on the market for a new mouse and on a budget, this is a good one to get. Right ahead is just some of my favorite books with a tray on the side for storage. Above that is a 42-inch monitor riser with Saitama on top. One of my favorite animes of all time, and also one of the best purchases that I've made as well. For only 25 bucks, you get a Saitama figure and a themed One Punch Man vehicle. If you're a fan, go get this right now. The quality is phenomenal. On the side, I have some fake plants, and on the other side, a couple of PS5 controllers. I also have some extra collectibles like Michael Scott, Arnold, Goku, and Chip holding some pencils and markers. For a monitor, I use a TV instead. It's the 42-inch C2 OLED Evo series. I've had this since June of 2023 and it's been remarkable. It is true what they say, once you go OLED, you never really do go back. The image quality, the size, the build, it's damn near perfect. Being able to play zombies in 4K at 120 is... Good job! And I know you're probably wondering how I'm playing zombies. Well, the PS5 is mounted at the bottom of the desk with an aluminum mount by Shambu. For sound, I use the SteelSeries Artix Nova 7X wireless gaming headset with some custom foam pads. What's also powering this setup is the M4 Mac Mini with 16GB of RAM and 512GB of storage. It's in a aluminum chassis that's made by a company called Taiga. This is probably the most dope case that I've seen for the M4 Mac Mini that's not overly expensive. Right on top of the TV is just a couple of shelves with some decor. And last but not least on this setup is this Rick and Morty USB nightlight. Now onto my main setup. Supporting this 63 by 31 tabletop by IKEA is an Alex drawer to the left and an Alex storage unit to the right. I did add 2-inch stainless steel legs in between for some extra height. Resting on top of the tabletop is another desk pad from Trees, an acrylic wrist rest from Newfie, an Apple Magic trackpad, a Razer Basilisk V3 Pro, and the Keychron K2HE. This is the best mouse for Mac. And yes, I have tried this one. I'd love to explain why, but that's for another video, which I will be making at some point. Anyway, right above the trackpad is the Elgato Stream Deck Neo. And for monitors, I use two. The 49-inch QD OLED by Gigabyte and the 23.8-inch by Acer. I've had this OLED since launch day and I paid a hefty penny for it. However, I don't regret it. This thing is amazing. I was worried about burn-in, you know, like how we all do when we buy an OLED, but I've put this thing through the ringer and it's held up perfectly. I do all my work on this, meaning that I leave files, multiple windows open, and it has not shown any signs of burn-in. A few times back when I had this setup, Goku and Vegeta fell on top of the monitor, which is why you see these marks on top of the monitor, and even then nothing happened. This thing is a tank worth every dollar. Nowadays you can get it at a better price, especially if you buy it used. It has a resolution of 5:1 at 144 and a 0.03 response time. Great for gaming, great for productivity. I do get the full 144 with my M1 Max Studio and 120 with the Acer that I have at the bottom, which is not an OLED but an IPS. It's the perfect partner to your big ass ultra wide. Holding it in place is a 42-inch monitor riser. On top it lays a Govee Live Smart Air quality monitor. On the other side is one of my favorite objects in my setup, a Goku figure paying respect to his creator Akira Toriyama. I bought this from Etsy a while ago and it's an object that will never leave my desk. Beneath that is a nameless Namekian spaceship along with a dimmable lamp. To the right is a USB charging station which I use to charge my mouse and several other devices. Next to that is a fast charging MagSafe wireless charger. For sound I use the Edifier QR65s and what's holding them in place is the Kanto SP9W speaker stands. For voiceovers I use the Logitech Blue Sona with a fine arm stand. What powers the microphone is the Volt 1 USB audio interface that's attached to the bottom of the desk. For Zoom calls I use the OBSBot Meet 2. Above that is King Kai and Bubbles. The monitor arm that I'm using is a single monitor mount from Wally. It says it's only meant for screens up to 32 inches, but they are wrong. I've been using this arm since 2023 with different screen sizes, and it's one of those products that is just too good. I also love that it's a single straight pull and not one of those that clamp on the side. And for a more of a clean look, I installed some grommets onto the desk so the cables can go through the bottom instead of the top. For ambient lighting, I have a single light strip from Govee on the back of the 49, another one at the bottom of the monitor riser, and a Govee light rope at the bottom of the desk. Above everything, I have a 40x60 Goku frame that I bought from eBay. I installed a Govee basic light strip on the back for some extra greatness. On the side, I also added some Govee hexagon panels. To the right of Goku is an IKEA pegboard with some Dragon Ball Z figures, tools, keycaps, switches, keyboard, and a shelf at the bottom with an Amazon Echo 15. By the way, a perfect companion for the Amazon Echo is this remote. You can use Netflix, YouTube, Max, whatever you want. I pretty much just use it to have something playing in the background while I'm working, and of course you can control the volume as well. It is somewhat pricey though, coming in at 30 bucks. And what provides me comfort while I'm doing some work and some gaming is the Steelcase Series 1. By far, it's the best chair that I've ever had. Can't say I recommend it though because I haven't tried many, and there is many of ergonomic chairs. I mean like a ton of them. Okay, so my final thing in my setup is cable management. I cannot believe that I never tried these until now. The Server Rack Raceway. I love these. And I've tried this one and this one. By far, this is my favorite one. It comes with its own adhesive tape that is really strong, by the way, so be careful. It comes in gray, black, white, and in many different sizes, so you don't have to worry on whether it's gonna fit or not. Let me actually show you how they work and how they look. So this is the adhesive tape that it comes with. As you can see, you don't see any cables whatsoever unless you like really go down here. And even then, it's not, well, I mean, yeah, you can actually see it. But if you're standing up, again, you can't see anything. You have to like really get down there. I mean, even then, you still can't see it. Let's go down a little more. Still can't really see it. Up until right there, which is great because it's not that wide from the bottom. Because if you use something like what are they called? Those metal racks, those do show way more. But anyways, I'm gonna use my light over here and I'm gonna show you, well, I'm gonna give you a closer look. And here we go. So it comes with this little, I guess you can call it cover. I'm gonna take it off. And it's fairly easy to take off. Let's see if we can do it with one hand. There we go. So all the cables, you just jam them in there and just fold them and give them a tug and just force them inside. And you can use these little, I don't know what you would call them, these little thingies. Oh God. But you can also just like jam the cables in between and put them in here, and they will stay in place instead of using a ton of these little adhesive little things. My goodness, I forgot what they're called. But instead of using a bunch of these or a rack or like a kind of like a basket kind of thing, this one I found that it's the best one. And whenever it comes to, like, let's say you need to change a cable or remove something, it's happened to me twice and I didn't struggle because all I did was just pull the cable like this or just take them out. And that's it. It didn't take me a long time to change whatever it is that I was gonna, swap out or whatever. And then for outlets, I have one on this side. Let's see if I can focus. I have one right here. And then I have another one on this side, which is right here. I did also hit a few cables on the back of the Alex drawers, like this one. And I also have my hard drives over here. With these, I just used some adhesive tape. But yeah, I do have a ton of cables. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you do end up using one of these. Now let's just pop it back in. Again, don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this with one hand. And yes, I did. I do also use it on my gaming setup. You can see it right there. And if you stand up, you can't see anything, which is, again, it's just great. On this one though, since it's smaller, I only used one. Also, quite a bit of cables. My goodness, you would think, I didn't think it was gonna be this many for this little gaming setup. But yeah, those are the raceways. And that's my setup. I really do hope that I inspired you to create your own setup, or maybe perhaps improve your setup in some way. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. Or if you have any tips on how to improve my setup, leave them down below as well. And there's one more thing that I really want to say before I go. There's no right way or wrong way to create a setup. You make it however you want to make it. Throw your personality into it and just make it you. The only thing though is get your cables off the floor. That's it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just get them off the floor. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.